Okay, so for this handstand video, we're going to need 2 blocks and broom handle. If you haven't got a broom handle, you can use a strap. If your shoulders are fairly tight, I'd recommend using a strap and then building up to a broom handle. The reason I've got a woolly hat on is because my hair is fucked, so I'm going to keep this on because it will just be all over the place. So we'll just start off with some dislocates. So seated, think rib cage pulled in, shoulders coming up to ears. As we slowly come up and over, we'll just go for 10 reps. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just keep the stick or strap behind you and just turn your grip so your knuckles are facing away, and we'll go for inlocates, so just coming in. I'll go side on. When you're doing these dislocates and inlocates drills, try not to really arch in your back. Try to keep rib cage pulled in, think flat back as we come up and over. Now inlocates can be a little bit more testing than dislocates can, so if you need to go wider with your grip, go wider. And it's better to have a nice smooth motion as opposed to trying to force it. Just go for 4 more. And put stick to the side for the minute. We'll just go into warming up wrists. So just tabletop position, knees underneath hips, hands underneath shoulders, fingertips facing forwards, just gently rocking forwards just to warm up into wrists a little. The reason I'm talking quietly is because it's like 10:30, I'm in Centre Parks, everyone else is in bed. So if you're struggling to hear me, I do apologise, but I don't want to wake everyone up. Fingertips facing long edge of the mat, still pushing into upper back as you just rock left to right. You can go into small circles. If you go one way, just go the other. Fingertips turning around to face the knees. Starting just to sit your glutes in the direction of the heels. If it feels a bit much, just move your knees further in towards your fingers. Go for 5 more reps. 2. And on the last one, just try to sit the glutes all the way down onto the heels. Keep knuckles, fingers pressing into the mat as your palm gently raises off. Just feel this quite deeply in your forearms, wrists. Oh, come to sitting on your glutes. Shake out your wrists. Just to strengthen into wrists a little bit, come back tabletop position. And from here, all we're going to do is knuckles pressing into the mat. We're just going to gently bring palms off. Try to maintain shoulders stacked over wrists. We're just going to go for 10 reps. And then 10 of just coming onto fingertips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a little puppy pose just to open up into shoulders. Keep hips over knees. Keep armpits wrapping in towards each other, so we're not just dumping into the shoulder joint, we're actively wrapping shoulders in and trying to actively open up into shoulders. Start to walk fingertips over towards the right, just to open up into the left side of lat, left side of the rib cage. Then walk the fingertips over towards the left. So we're getting a stretch going on down here. So actively reaching forwards and over. Alright, grab a hold of your 2 bricks. We're going to go into some core strengthening drills and shoulder hip opening drills. We're going to go table or reverse tabletop even to an L sit. So if you grab a hold of your 2 bricks, put them on medium setting, so that would be the highest setting, medium, lowest. So bring them onto your medium setting. Just set them up outside of your hips. Feet flat on the mat, about hips distance apart. From here, we're going to push into the bricks. Hips are going to drive towards the ceiling. Engage it into your glutes and open up, spread across chest, collarbone. I'm going to engage glutes, push up high. As I come back through, I'm going to bring my hips past my forearms, trying to come into a small little capital C. Compress as I drive hips up high. Reverse tabletop. I'm going to come down a bit low on my blocks. Medium's a bit too high. As I push back through, compress. Let's go for 8 more reps. Hips up high, open up through chest, collarbone, squeeze glutes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Going into a bit of shoulder mobility, scapular mobility. Set yourself up against the wall. You can be standing when you do this. I'm just going to do it seated. So bum, back, shoulders touching the wall. You may find when you come over to the wall that your low back is not touching. That's perfectly fine. Just get a sense of a feeling as if rib cage is pulling in. Shoulders, elbows and palms, or back of palm even, are against the wall. And again, if you find that you're really open here through your back, it's fine. It's just the flexibility or mobility in your back. So just try to keep in contact with the wall as much as you can. Elbows in the back of the palm against the wall, and all we're going to do here is trying to keep elbows pressing back, is to reach up high. So I'm getting to about here and my arms feel like they want to come off the wall. So I'm going to try to stay here, and then elbows are going to come all the way down. Press it all the way back up. 2. I'm going to keep my arms on the wall to the point where they feel like they can stay there. I don't want to go any further because they're going to come off. Come back down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are surprisingly hard. 9. See my chest. We need to make it easier on my chest. I'm allowing it to flare out, so try to keep pulling that in. 10 reps will do. Grab back a hold of your stick, a little bit of active rest. Let's just go into some dislocates. I'm going to run through one more set of this. I'm going to make it a little bit harder, or the reverse tabletop to compression. If you're at home, I'd recommend maybe doing a third set on your own, and you can play around with the 2 variations. Four more. And even with these dislocates, think ribcage pulls in. The more you warm up, or the more your shoulders open up, the closer in you may be able to get on the stick. Alright, so option with your reverse tabletop to compression is to keep feet on the floor. If you want to try to make it a little bit harder, try to raise the heels off the floor and go into an L sit. Hold the L sit for anywhere from 1 to 3 seconds. Drop the feet, go back into reverse tabletop. So that will look like this. Feet flat on the floor, feet max distance apart, palms pressing into the bricks, reverse tabletop, drive hips, open up through chest, collarbone. As I pull back through, I'm going to compress. Hips are going to go back past my forearms. I'm going to raise my heels. Drop the feet. Open. Close for 2. Three. 4. 5, halfway. I think this is 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Whew. Set yourself back up against the wall. So again, you can do this standing. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to stay seated. So I'm going to try to ball rib cage in, try to get my back as flat as I can against the wall. Again, don't worry if you're flaring out. Might just be the natural curve of your back. Keep rib cage pulled in. Elbows, let's start elbows tight. Trying to push palms back against the wall. Trying to keep elbows, forearms in contact as we raise up. And then we lower down. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Ooh. Let's go inlocates. So strap or wooden broom handle is behind us, knuckles facing away, rib cage pulls in, slow and controlled, coming up and over. Last 3. 2. Last one. Okay, so feel free to pause the video and go through one more set. I'm going to move on. Before we go into the next part, let's just spend a little bit of time opening up shoulders. The reason I've taken my top off is because for the next few exercises it may be beneficial to be able to see what my torso is actually doing. I've eaten a lot of spaghetti and ice cream tonight, so it may not be too defined of what's actually going on there. But anyway, first of all, set up your 2 bricks about shoulders distance apart. We're just going to start by opening up shoulders. So what we're going to do is put the back of triceps on one brick, back of triceps on the other, and then from here we can just rest our hands on top of our back, and then keeping shoulders or armpits even wrapping in. Just get a sense of letting your chest drop towards the floor. Keep rib cage pulling in. And this will just gently open up into shoulders and chest. You may be doing this and thinking it doesn't feel too gentle, but just try to ease into it. If you're feeling any pain, come out. But otherwise, armpits wrapping in. Just actively pressing chest towards the floor. This is a shoulder opening exercise. This will help with what we're about to go into. We'll just hold this for about another 30 seconds. Alright, so for the next 2 drills, we're going to need broom handle, we're going to be laying on our stomachs, and we're going to be laying on our backs. For the first one, we're just going to do this no stick. So we're going to come laying flat on belly, chest, feet together. Engage the thighs, point through your toes. Here you can just rest forearm or forehead even into the mat. And we want to get a sense of rib cage pulling in. And then abs pulling up, rib cage pulls in. PPT, posterior pelvic tilt, tuck pelvis under. And then from here, depends how flexible you are in your shoulders. We're going to try to raise arms up. So here I'm engaging my glutes. Rib cage is pulling in. Pelvis is tucking under. Pointing through my toes. Arms are reaching up. For the second drill, we're going to flip it over. We're going to go into a hollow body hold. Don't necessarily need to use your stick here, you can do this without, but I mean the stick doesn't weigh anything. So for the hollow body hold, we're going to reach up and back. Try to have your hands about shoulders distance apart. If you need to go a bit wider, go for it. Reach up through your stick, push through your stick. Point toes, push low back into the floor. Reach up and back, shoulders are off of the floor. Low backs into the floor, glutes are pushing into the floor, legs are off. So I'll show you again. Here, pushing low back into the floor, shoulders lift off, feet lift off. With the stick, I'm reaching up and back, I'm trying to get biceps past my ears. So we're going to go for 20 seconds on, 15 seconds to rest in between, going straight back in. And we'll try to do this back to back. Let's see how we get on. So, see if the app I've downloaded will work. Use hit timer for more than one session. Buy. I don't want to buy it. Right, so I've got a timer. Starting on our fronts. Let's go. Tuck pelvis under, pull rib cage in, toes together, reach forwards. Try to maintain this alignment, squeezing glutes, pelvis tucks under, rib cage pulled in. Try to reach arms up as high as you can. Alright, so next drill. Laying on back, hollow body hold. So start, really exaggerate the lift, push low back into the floor, feet up, reach up and back. Shoulders off, feet high. Alright, 2 sets to go. Laying flat on your belly. Tuck rib cage in, squeeze glutes. Keep lifting arms. Over halfway, hollow body hold. Exaggerate the lift, push low back into the floor, raise shoulders, lift legs. Keep reaching up and back with hands. Roll it over, last set. 5 seconds. Tuck rib cage in, squeeze glutes, tuck pelvis under. Rib cage pulls in, squeeze glutes, pelvis tucks, lift hands. Last one, hollow body hold. And then we'll start actually going on the wall. Exaggerate, push it in, lift shoulders, lift feet, arms push up and back. You can stop. Oh. Right, next part. Let's start going up the wall. Let's practice scissor legs. Try and find a bit of air. And then we'll practice just changing. I'm going to adjust the camera so you can see me on the wall. Okay, so I'm going to set myself up against the wall. I'm basically from seated, just going to go legs distance, then I'm going to bring my hands to where my hips were, and then I'm going to go up the wall. It's going to look like this. So legs distance away, hands just come where my bum was, and then from here I'm just going to push one leg behind my bum, other leg comes on, downward facing dog against the wall, lift one leg. Okay, so from here, let's think starting from the floor, palms, knuckles press into the floor or mat, my fingertips are pulling in towards me, ribcage pulls in, shoulders wrap in and lift. Ribcage in, point through the toe that's in the air, which is my right toe, engage the glute, And then if I shift my weight forwards, light on my left toe, I'm going to float off. See if you can catch a bit of air. If your toe constantly keeps tapping against the wall, that's all good. At least you're not falling. Change leg. Try to catch a bit of air time the other side. If you fall back, just go back into it. Play around with that for like 1 minute rounds and go for 5 rounds. Have a couple minutes rest in between and then come back. Next drill to practice, walking all the way up the wall, which can be challenging and a bit daunting for some people because you're close to the wall, how am I going to fall out? But aim of this drill is alignment. Try to look towards your feet when you're up the wall, so you're going to be looking up the wall towards your feet, and it's the same thing. Shoulders wrap in, rib cage pulls in, tuck pelvis under, and again, if you just stack it right, everything stacks up over each other, your feet will float off the wall. So again, same principle applies. You can bring your hands to where your hands were a minute ago, or you can walk them in even closer if you're comfortable just hopping legs up the wall. Otherwise, just walk it in. Walk your hands in about hands distance away from the wall. I'm a bit close because I needed to get off the mat. And then from here, press up, look towards feet, rib cage pulls in, and then you might not be able to see, but my toes are just floating off once I stack everything right. And it's just a case of fingertips and palm. If you fall out, try to cartwheel out like I just did. Try not to land backwards, just slide one way or the other way. Hold this for about maybe 20 seconds each time. If you're comfortable holding it for longer, hold it for longer. Try to just practice that straight line, that feeling of everything stacked, rib cage pulls in. Play around with that and then come back. Practice about 3 to 5 rounds, 20 seconds each round, 1 to 2 minutes rest in between. Right, let's come away from the wall. Let's go into some, we'll go into some drills first of all, and then we'll practice kicking up. To start with, if you just bring hands outside of knees, we're going to work on some compression strength. So from here, pushing palms into the mat, we're going to try to bring knees towards eye of the elbow or the elbow crease. Bring it back down. If this feels uncomfortable on the front of your feet, just curl the toes over. Otherwise, if it feels alright, we'll just go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down, shake wrists out a little bit. Let's make that a little bit harder. We're going to straighten the legs. So hands back outside of the knees. Palms pushing into the mat. We're going to bring knees to elbow crease, and then we're going to straighten into the legs. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's try to put that all together. Try to make it a little bit more explosive and see if you can catch some air time. So, if we make it a little bit more explosive and we try to jump to a tucked handstand, it would look a little bit more like this. This is just something to mess about with. The more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, the more you'll find balance. So here, if we go bop, straight line, catching it in a tuck. You might not catch the air time. You might. Palms, knuckles, fingertips pressing into the mat. Explosively explode up. You might only go that high. Straighten into legs. Try to imagine you're trying to get your hips over your shoulders. Have a little play with that. Go for say 3 sets of 5 to 10 reps. A few minutes rest in between each set. Then come back to the mat, press play. Alright, last few things to have a play with. These are just jumping up variations. I'll go through a few and then it'll just be a case of kind of press pause and then play about with it. So first of all, we'll just go into scissor kicks. So when we're jumping up, feet shoulders are stacked over the hands. With scissor kick, we're going to have one leg up high, bending into the other knee that's on the floor. Bend in, point the toes of this leg that's away from you. Bend. And then, ideally, you'd hold both toes even, pointing away, and then just balancing. Practice 5 one side, 5 the other. Have a little breather. Other one that I quite enjoy is trying to toe tap above your bum with both feet. So it's jumping off with both feet and trying to come together in like a diamond position. This worked out quite well for me when I first started kicking up to handstands. This is one of my favourites. This is one that I could hold quite a fair bit. So he says, so shoulders over hands, bend into both knees, and then I'm going to try to kick my bum with my heels, toes, and the knees are going to go out, so I'm going to open in the hips. So it's a case of jump, toes together. Jump, toes together. And then from here, oh, you can open the legs. Whew. Tires you out jumping up. Holding handstands is easy. And then last but not least, would be trying to jump up to handstand, which is obviously what the aim of the game is. The end goal, straight line handstand. So, again, that would be a case of trying to shoot the legs up. And then it's a case of getting your alignment. That would just be there, shoot them straight up. Quite a few variations to play with there, mess about with. Handstands is all about enjoying the journey, enjoying the time. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. So enjoy what you're doing, play about with all them different variations, and if you've got any other questions, message me on Instagram, _vegan_ant. Have a little mess about, come back, I'll just run through some shoulder stretches to finish with. So capsule stretch, this is a shoulder stretch. If you bring your left arm underneath the right armpit, bring right arm reaching forward, and with the left leg, oh, tell you what, I'll do it from the other side. Right arm underneath left armpit, and then if you bring the right arm up, right leg up even, make it a little bit more intense. From here I'm trying to bring my right shoulder down towards the floor. And then just breathe into it. Let's change sides. So right leg comes up, left arm comes underneath, right armpit, reach right arm forwards, right armpit in towards the floor. Should feel a deep stretch in the outer left shoulder. Let's bring the right arm out, pop the right shoulder into the floor. Left hand outside of chest, press into the mat, bring left side of torso up, left foot comes up and over, opening up into the right shoulder. Same on the left side. Take a little Sphinx pose. Keep it here or straighten into the arms. Take it a little bit deeper. And that'll do.